And now maybe they will come out tomorrow and say, no, it's not true. He slept there yesterday. The vice president only sleep in his house because he loves his cow. There's this special cow that lives inside his mansion in Abuja, and he cannot stay without the cow. That's why he had to stay there and spend weekend with his cow. They'll come and tell you. And all of us, the members of his staff, all of us working in his office, we love the cow too. And even the cow and us, we are very loyal to Mr. President. What if these guys are actually asking for help? Say, Joe, help me, help me. I say something now, you should know that if I blink 3 times, I'm going to begin to pay attention to that. There are those who are psychologists who said, listen, if you are in trouble in public, you should blink 3 times, or you should blink 4 times and make some sign like that. What if shitty man is asking for help? Because nobody waiting them plan that they see. So Mumu Ticket has his own agenda. Unfortunately, Tifnumbu has his own agenda. So agenda to finish agenda by agenda don't shop agenda. Mumu Ticket agenda, which shitty man bragged then that he will personally handle security and Tifnumbu will handle economy. At the security, everything don't enter canal. So agenda to agenda me, everybody didn't regret. What if the guy is asking for help? They were supposed to be in charge. Or no be waiting them bargain than they get now. What if the guy is asking for help? I know it's easier for you to say, why can't he just resign and go home? Okay. Now, don't see somebody who joined court before. Have you seen somebody who joined court before and they are trying to leave? Do you think it's a social club where you just resign and just go home? Have you? Why can't he just resign and go home? Go home to where? Which home? Anyway, I'm not asking you to pity him. I'm just kind of like trying to, think outside the box as it talk. Remember when they told you that a rat chased Buhari out of office? And a lot of people were like, nah, enemy. How the enemy didn't want Buhari to come back to office? Meanwhile, they are hiding Buhari from you. Remember? Now, 2 years later, after living that life for 6 years, garbage is SHEU. I kind of call him garbage SHEU. Garbage in, garbage out. Or Femi Adesina. You remember them? He has come out now to say, oh yeah, it was just a lie to, we just little lie to Nigerians. There was no rat that chased Buhari out of office. Just like there was never a snake that swallowed 40 million anywhere.
I mean, now that you are out of office, and the president is better now, what did they put in the air condition that made the president sick?
No, I'm not aware of that then. I'm not aware that there was anything in air conditioner that made him sick.
What made him
honest,
sick?
Nobody took me into confidence into that.
On that?
I never had discussed what was the nature of the ailment and what caused it.
Up to now?
I'm being honest with you.
Were you able to ask him?
I have never asked him. And it was not him.
Well, he told the nation that he was very sick. That he thought he was.
He said he
had lost the battle.
Yeah. But again, also, medical health of individuals, you and I, is private. And as much as possible, we keep it private. We keep it private.
But there are a lot of suspicion in the villa at the time. That those who are close to him and the manner in which security now looked at everyone, there were a lot of suspicion. And of course, as a journalist, we have our insider information.
There was nothing that wasn't said. You know that at some point it was that he had died or he had been replaced by Jibril of Sudan.
What about the Jibril?
Well, that's those who orchestrated the nonsense.
Because people were looking out for the ear, the left or the right ear. And
the same one.
I mean.
So you see them laughing there? That was when they brought back what is considered as a clone. And since then, meanwhile, Buhari is back in the hospital though. He's an old man, considering his public record. So which means they may announce to you soon that Buhari is dead. And I don't know if that means anything to some of you, but just so you know. So they lied to you. There are many other lies they told you. Enough that many of you have lost count. All right? I can bring some of them back, at least just for posterity's sake. One of them is that your refineries are now working. Do you remember how some of them called you names simply for asking questions about what they claimed that they are fixed? Now scratch that, because it is now obvious that it is a lie. Earlier today, Gote, the quota system billionaire of Nigeria, came out and he said, listen, guys, your refineries will never work because I don't think they will ever work. And he's right. From his own total submission, Nigeria has expended over $18 billion trying to fix a moribund refinery. So it's never going to work. Now, I think we are now going to go on the another trip of fraud. And what is that? They are now planning to sell the refineries. But Alufera scrap. I don't know. But here is Ojulari, the guy that replaced Melek Yari in the rackets called NNPC. He's made it clear, among other lies, all right, that the offer of them or the option of them selling the refineries is on the table. Now pay attention. OPL 245, the one Adoke wrote about, that rich, what do they call that thing again? Oil, they have a name for it, is now in the family of Tifnumbu, his adopted family, just so you know. So maybe if they can buy your refineries and turn the scrap to something that, I don't know, maybe they will just have to call the Bola boys to come around and say, yeah, come and take this thing. After $18 billion, Baba, here, the new NNPC guy talking about this sector, though. You should be interested. Listen.
And you've talked recently about rehabilitating some of the oil refineries. How is that going? Give us an update on the progress.
So our refineries, we made quite a lot of investment over the last several years and brought in a lot of technologies. We've been challenged. Some of those technologies have not worked as we expected so far. But also, as you know, when you're refining a very old refinery that has been abandoned for some time, what we're finding is that becoming a little bit more complicated. So we're reviewing all our refinery strategies now. We hope before the end of the year, we'll be able to conclude that review. That review may need to lead to us doing things slightly differently.
Yeah. Could it lead to the sale of some of these refineries? Might you look to sell some of them?
I can't say that now, but what we're saying is that sale is not out of the question. Well, all the options are on the table, to be frank, but that decision will be based on the outcome of the reviews we're doing now.
Okay. Let me ask you about Dangote specifically, minority shareholder. But are you happy with the situation where almost half of the feedstock that goes into the refinery is coming from the U.S. as opposed to Nigerian crude?
Well, first of all, Dangote Refinery is a commercial investment. And I think it's very important to keep that in mind. It's a commercial decision. It wasn't a national investment. So the refinery has the flexibility to be able to import crude for its survival, and also have the flexibility to ensure that it goes out. I think if you look at it commercially, yeah, we will have to do more to ensure that there is a balance in terms of, the crude coming in from Nigerian crude. We're working on that. We think that will improve. But what we want to do is that we want to move away from government-dominated or domination on private sector businesses, right? We want the businesses, private sector, to have the freedom, and that's what the Nigerian government has been working on, to invest and do as they think. So if Nigeria is going to provide more supplies to Dangote Refinery, it will be on a commercially willing buyer, willing seller basis, not because it's a policy. You see what I mean?
Yeah. I want to broaden out and actually.
So they're going to sell it. Michelle, it simply means you are giving an extra work to your brain, which is called brain tasking. Despite whatever it is that you are, working your mind working on, that particular spot, you're able to say, what if? That is what is lacking in many people. Critical thinking, use your imagination. These are not wild imagination. These are imaginations coming from the available information, characters, their antecedent, their history. You know what I mean? So either intuitively or instinctively or something like that, right? I use or subconsciously rather, because you have heard those information, you've mastered the face and the talking point of these guys. So it is easier somehow to process all this together and get a theory or an hypothesis. I have an hypothesis. What if? Oh, let's take a look at that. Okay, well, that's a possibility. Once people can say, oh, yeah, that's a possibility. Critical thinking. People no get time. Hunger, everything by everybody. So when you see people who claim to be smart and their smartness is motivated by the hunger, and that smartness is basically how to get a quick fix, cheat somebody, get something, and feel that hunger. They call it smart. But when they have to use critical thinking in dealing with these rogues, about they just have to kind of like let somebody else do that for them. Unfortunately, there are those hired by these rogues to tell these moves what they just need to hear. Since they can't think or process any of that, just tell them, go and tell them. So bless you, Michelle. That's another angle though. Yeah. But to them, in the Nigeria Info, Sir Jimmy Dizu had this to say.
Dangote has doubted the possibility of the state-owned Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna refineries functioning again, which means that they are dead. In spite of what this government said, all the money spent, all the propaganda, the celebration, the commissioning, the flag off, and everything, the 3 refineries are dead. And what did Dangote say? And he should know because he has a refinery.
Right.
He says, Dangote also stated the refineries which are under the management of NNPC had gobbled up to, hold on to your chair, $18 billion. So we are saying that we have put $18 billion.
18 billion.
We have put it in a container and thrown it down the ocean. Should the EFCC and whichever authorities now not be looking into where this money is? We are so $18 billion. Do you know what that could do for any country? And I wonder why we never really wanted to let go of these refineries. And we keep saying we are doing turnover, we are doing.
Or why can't we make it work?
No, we can't. I think that is something that you and I know, close to about 20-something years ago, that the government cannot run any enterprise. That's why these new states that are celebrating the airlines, I just look at them and I laugh.
Just give them some time.
I just look at them and I laugh. So everybody is clapping. Oh, our state has a new airline. They park the plane, people go. And I look and I just like, government cannot do business in this country. Dangote.
Ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kọ́ṣì ń bọ̀ wá. Ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kọ́ṣì ń bọ̀ wá. Tólórò máa sáré, ọlọ́pàá máa sáré. Ayé máa sáré, ẹyẹ tí ò dúró rere máa sáré. Àlórà máa sáré, HS tí kò mọ kankan máa sáré. Everybody máa sáré, gbogbo wa pátá máa sáré. Ìgbà yẹn ti dé, àsìkò yẹn náà là wá. Ìgbà yẹn ti dé, àsìkò yẹn náà là wá. Everybody máa sáré, ọlọ́pàá máa sáré, àwọn tó ń ṣòro gan máa sáré, olúmọlẹ̀ máa sáré, àpènà máa sáré, olúwo ìlú gan máa sáré, everybody pátápátá máa sáré.
Sáré, àpènà máa sáré, olúwo ìlú máa sáré, ìgbà yẹn máa dé, àsìkò kan ṣe ń bọ̀ wá, ìgbà kan máa dé. It's a matter of time. even though a lot of people have sort of seen that like a never would happen scenario. Hey, keep faith, right? Or keep faith rather, okay? Because Ibayamadi is a matter of time. Or maybe it will never come. Let's look at the guy that's supposed to be in jail. A guy who's looted or stolen 107 billion naira, who paid the tuition of his children who are currently in kindergarten. He paid their tuition to university level in a private university while he was governor. He went on the ground for a while. When he was declared wanted, he became a fugitive that travels at night under the cover of night in tinted vehicles. A fugitive, hunted supposedly by his own friends in crime. Yeye Bello of Kogi, the white lizard of Kogi, is back on campaign trail, telling the people he looted 107 billion from, right? So ignore coalition. Which coalition? They have nothing to offer. Person will be said by now. Now by photo, people suppose they recognize him and say, who is this one? Sir, sorry, you don't know him? That guy, that former Kogi governor that stole 107 billion. They feed them to crocodile now. That's why they don't know him bury. You know get burial ground. You know get so you know get tomb, you know get burial ground. Kind of. See, oh, I remember now. So now like this, it look like the guy where they call white lizard. Have you now? Then feed them to the bigger lizards, the crocodile. Now waiting the judge see me then do and be that. But that one is a leader in front of his victims, yapping this.
Somewhere. But today, the Kogi State House of Assembly is going to be one. There will be no minority leader again. Man Kuli, who is the minority leader in the State House of Assembly, is the champion today. There will be no minority leader again. Only one minority leader is the campaign. That is all. Kogi is one party state. And by the special grace of God, come 2027, I have said it before, that there is no vacancy in Asuro. No vacancy. I want you to echo it. No vacancy in. No vacancy in. Okay, if it is true, then let's sing this song. On your Monday we shall stand. On your Monday we shall stand. On your Monday, louder. Louder. I want Mr. President to hear it in Brazil. Let him hear clearly, loud and clear, in Brazil. I say, on your Monday we shall. If you believe, raise your hand. On your Monday we shall. Wave your hand. On your Monday, wave your hand. Wave your hand. Your Monday we shall stand. You see, this mandate, everybody continues to say, it's the president's mandate. It's the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's mandate. This mandate are being given to him willingly by the people of Nigeria. And Nigerian people continue to say, please hold this mandate for us till 2031. Till 2031. You see, coalition. Who is doing more of coalition when everybody continues to decamp into our party? We are the one. At an appropriate time, we will show them what coalition means. Election of 2027 It's going to be the simplest, the easiest election for all Progressive Congress and for Mr. President. In fact, we, the Nigerian people, the energetic, the strong, the younger generation, the Gen Zs, the women, we will tell Mr. President, don't even do any wahala of campaigning across the state. Confess your governance. It is our time.